Hey guys, what is up? It is Karen, aka cakedbybabyk, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be reviewing the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina Volume 4 palette. I am super excited to talk to you guys about this today. I absolutely love the first 3 palettes in this collection. I have not talked about them on my YouTube because I wasn't active when they came out, but I have used them in countless looks. If you go onto my Instagram, I have used them so many times. The formula, pigmentation, color story is truly unmatched, and I am really excited to be talking about this 4th volume with you guys today. A little disclaimer before we get into the meat of this video: my thoughts and my opinions on this product are exactly that, my thoughts and my opinions on this product alone and not the brand as a whole. In addition, I did get this collection in PR, which I am so grateful for. Thank you ABH and Norvina for sending it over, but don't get it twisted, that does not affect my thoughts on this product whatsoever. Y'all know I keep it raw, real, unfiltered here on my channel. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the fun stuff. So here is what the palette looks like. She has this beautiful hardcover packaging. I think this is really great for travel. It's more durable than their other felt palette packaging. A ginormous mirror, which I absolutely love. I think that's so important. Here is what the shades look like. You get 25 shades, and this also retails for $60 on abh.com or sephora.com. They are not being sold in Ulta. She is also cruelty-free and vegan, and it's important to note the formula when it comes to this palette and the rest of the Norvina collection palettes. The formal name for these palettes is Pro Pigment Palettes. If you weren't aware, eyeshadows and pigments are in 2 separate categories. Eyeshadows are intended for use around the immediate eye area, where pigments are not. This palette came with a warning that says all of these shades are not intended for use around the immediate eye area. I'm gonna insert it onto the screen right here. For me personally, I have not run into any issues regarding this topic, but if you have sensitive eyes, please take that into account. Let's talk about the formula, and while I do, I'm gonna insert some clips of me swatching the palette as well. Let's talk about the mattes first. Whew. I love the formula of the mattes in all of these palettes. They are just absolutely stunning. They're very soft and buttery. This palette includes 14 mattes, and the color payoff is just amazing. There is a bit of kickback when you dip into it with a brush, but that doesn't bother me. I know it bothers some people, so it's important to mention. Moving on to the shimmers. Whew. I really don't have any words for these shimmers. They apply beautifully with a brush or your fingers, which is so hard to find in my opinion. Very rarely do I find shimmers that apply this pigmented with a brush. And usually if I apply shimmers with the brush, I usually have to spray it or wet it with setting spray so I can get that really intense shimmer or that intense color payoff, but that is not needed when it comes to this palette. The shimmers are absolutely gorgeous, and this palette includes 9 different shimmers. The last formula included in this palette is the glitter formula, and they are awesome. They do not require any glue or adhesive. I personally like to use my fingers to apply this to the lids, or it also applies beautifully with a brush. Now moving on to the color story of the palette. As you can see here, it's dominated by a lot of pinks and purples with a few pops of color. Some of them are really bright, and there are also some more muted tones. So you can really create a variety of different looks. Today I just have an everyday type of bronzy glam look, and I was able to create that with the browns and some of the shimmers in this palette. Of course, you can also go colorful. I posted a look on my Instagram where I've used more of the pinks and the purples. A lot of people have said that this looks like an elevated version of the original Norvina palette. If you guys know which one I'm talking about, I'll insert a photo, but it was the one in the like ABH felt palette packaging. And I have to agree, the color story looks very similar to that one. I do have to say that out of all 4 of the palettes that Norvina has come out with, this is the one that appeals to me the least. I just don't think there's enough variety for me compared to the other 3. Whenever I do palette reviews, I try to use every single shade in the palette before I can give you guys my thoughts. I've created a bunch of different looks, and what really would have sold it for me is if there was a really dark, rich chocolate brown or a black and also a white. Y'all know that I love creating depth and dimension in my looks, and unfortunately this just doesn't have a shade that's dark enough to achieve that for me. The darkest shades would have to be E4 and B5, and E4 pulls a lot more mauve and a lot more purple, and B5 has more of a cool tone. I would have really loved to see just like a true chocolate brown or a black, and again also a white or maybe like a cream shade that was matte. I do like this pop of yellow as a contrast to kind of balance out the colors. But this does not pack as much of a punch as I thought it would. I would have loved for it to be a little bit brighter and a tad more pigmented. Now that we've got all that information out of the way, it's time to give y'all my overall thoughts. Personally, for $60, I would like a little bit more variety. Honestly, if I wasn't on PR, I don't think I'd purchase this palette for my own use, just because the price is a little bit steep and just what I was mentioning about the color story not completely doing it for me. However, I will say that the formula is so amazing, but please keep in mind the warning that I mentioned in the beginning about over half the shadows not being eye safe. But if you are dying to get your hands on this and you think the color story is beautiful, then by all means, you do you, go for it. I would definitely recommend. Just for me personally, I wouldn't reach for it as much as the other palettes in the collection. All right, you guys, that is it for this video. Please let me know if you have been eyeing this palette, if you're looking to purchase it, if you have it and you have any thoughts you want to share with me, leave it in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, thumbs up, all that good, and I will see you guys in my next one.